I found this metal holder thing, and I'm really not sure what it is. It has a platform on top and a cone connected to a chain. The object is made almost entirely of metal, and the cone is hollow so it can easily be placed on the platform. I tried searching for terms like metal handle with cone, but I couldn't find anything that matches. It's a bit of a mystery. Any idea what this could be used for? It's a candle holder stand with a snuffer. You extinguish the candle by placing the cone over the flame or wick. It was found as an antique-looking copper object at a Swedish thrift shop, and I initially thought it was a candle holder. But then I realized the opening was too large to fit a standard candle, and it can be dismantled into 3 parts. I'm not sure it's put together correctly either, so I think there might be some missing parts. It's about 17 centimeters long, and while the design doesn't seem typical of Sweden, I can't be sure where it was made. I searched for terms like antique water hookahs due to the tiny hole that seems unusual, but I haven't been able to find any definitive matches. Any idea what this could be used for? I think it is an Art Nouveau era vase. The bottom opens to place a floral frog, a lead piece with upright nails, and also to use as small vase. The collar at the top originally was all the way up to rim and was functional to catch pollen from flowers like lilies and tulips. We found this while metal detecting in a mountain area in Pennsylvania, close to an old railroad that shut down in the 1890s. The region also had a gas station that closed in the 1950s, and it's not a place that sees much foot traffic today. The object is made of thin brass, about 3 to 4 inches long, and it's stamped. It doesn't seem thick enough to be a belt buckle, so we're guessing it could be a part of machinery or some sort of tool from the past. Any idea what it could be? This appears to be the front of a Union belt buckle, likely from the Civil War era. The back might be nearby. Given the quality, it's probably from a historical reenactment group. I found this while metal detecting. It looks very old, but isn't rusted much. There's an image of a person with their hands on their hips. I tried using Google image search, but didn't have any luck. We think it might be a belt buckle of sorts. Does anyone have any idea what this could be? It's a Knights Templar sword hanger chainkeeper. I was cleaning up an area of my newer property that I hadn't really explored before. I came across something that looked interesting. It's about 3 feet tall and 5 feet wide. In the center, there's a wooden barrel-like object, and one side of it has what looks like it might have been connected to a belt or some sort of mechanism. The whole thing is surrounded by thick woods, so it's definitely an older piece of equipment. The exterior seems to be metal, while the inside is wood. From the way it's built, it doesn't look like it was used for tumbling, but the interior metal wheels make me think it might have been involved in some kind of machinery that moved or rotated things. Any ideas on what this could have been? I found this item in my mom's attic. It's made of brass, possibly some copper as well, and resembles a sardine can with a finger holder. It's lightweight and hollow. The top looks like copper, while the sides and bottom are brass. There are no markings on it. And after searching for terms like oil candle or fat-burning candle, I haven't been able to find anything similar. The whole thing measures about 5 inches long, 3 inches wide, and 1 inch deep. Does anyone recognize this or have an idea of its purpose? My first thought was that it's an ashtray. However, my friend, who is Dutch, said it's a coin collector, and that organ players shake the coins in the covered part to the rhythm of the music. It seems like it might have 2 common uses, and I'm curious if there's any historical connection between ashtrays and coin collectors. Personally, I lean toward it being an old ashtray. since it makes more sense to mass-produce ashtrays to prevent people from ashing on carpets, rather than manufacturing a large number of coin collector containers for buskers, panhandlers, or the like. He mentioned it's called a centibak, which seems to be the name for this item, and it's used for collecting change. I'm still baffled as to why the Dutch would have a specific item for collecting change, but I'm definitely interested in the manufacturing history of this for the reasons I mentioned earlier. I came across this baton-shaped holder with multiple instruments or tools, and it's quite a mystery. One of the items inside seems to be a protractor, and another has centimeters marked on it. The holder itself appears to be primarily brass, with decorative designs on both the top and bottom. There's a middle piece that looks like it might have been leather at one point, but it's now hard and rough. My friend believes it was purchased in Amsterdam in the 1930s and was likely an antique even then. When we showed it to a local antique dealer, they weren't entirely sure what it was, but they suggested it could be Napoleonic in origin. Has anyone seen something similar, or have any idea what it might have been used for? I'm guessing this might be related to cartography, or something an artillery officer would use for sighting ranges. The graduated scale looks like a pendulum Hausa cannon sight, and I think the squared tool next to it could be a gunner's quadrant. The tool on the far left might be a priming tool or a gimlet, used to puncture the powder bag, with the rounded plug likely blocking the vent hole until a fuse was inserted. Zooming in on the engravings, the martial theme becomes clearer. Pikes, wheels, maybe a shield or another wheel, and at least one cannon. I'm no expert on these devices, but many of them seem to be designed for pushing into the ground. The 3 different spikes, plus the one with the square top, all appear to be designed for anchoring into soil. Also, on the top metal part, one shot shows what looks like a broken C shape, suggesting this contraption might have once had a belt loop. I'm speculating here, but everything points to something worn on the body in a military setting, designed for precise measurements of angles and distances. That combination seems to scream artillery, especially considering the engravings of cannons and wheels, which would be found on or around field artillery pieces, either for hauling the artillery or ammunition. I wonder if there was a ribbon or cloth that could be attached to one or more of the spikes to show wind direction, as that might help with targeting.